transported out of the tent that you were in into somewhere much warmer. A cool chamber of black obsidian, 5 seats sitting in front of you, a large ample chamber with large pillars holding the ceiling and stained glass windows lining the walls. You are greeted by who you find out to be the 5 elders of Zavarel: Yuki Danzig, Leola Brimstone, Mavrin Greytide, Callus, and Rexus Unger. The 5 elders representing the 5 devil lords, who you've recently heard the names of. As conversation broke out about what the pilgrimage meant and what you were all here for, what Zaishori you were here for, a chance to reconnect with your roots, to learn things about Zayfarel. You all entered in a loose verbal contract, essentially understanding the things that you might learn in this chamber will be secretive and possibly detrimental to your health. Um, they talked about the history of tieflings and the pilgrimage and why it was important to bring you all here. But there was still the hanging question of what Saishori's blood meant and what they were trying to get across and deduce, essentially. Regaining his memories, or at least portions of them, a transformed Draconis, once in his nightmare form, reemerged in his very familiar to you, Saishori, red skinned, horn draped form with pat like weathered wings off his back, stepped forward and claimed that there has always been, would always be, 6 devil lords, claiming Zaishori, you being of the blood of Zelemond, the aspect of doubt, and giving his full title of Zacchaeus Bleradon Draconis Inferior, speaker of doubt, the creeping word, the final thought. More conversation broke out. Sayashuri and Draconis conveyed to each other telepathically that Draconis had more information that he wanted to share, but wondered after his previous outburst if you would like to take a moment, a beat, to reconvene before you readdress the elders. Elders wanting time to also have conversation, let you all back into the tent town to talk to Draconis, where you actually went back to Babby's magnificent mansion. Conversations were had about the before times, the times before history was recorded, the times when great wars and conflicts rung out, the fact that all of the gods, their followers, the tieflings in general, prepare for a cycle of war and chaos, and that is what feeds Zelenkov. The portals remained open, though pushed back. The planes, the portals to the elemental planes, the plane of hell, the abyss, all of these placed and left open because it's the balance of these planes and the chaotic energy that ensued that helps feed the world. Knowing this, knowing that this is what kind of lined up with what the elders were telling you, that there is always a period of gathering resources and a war to break out and needing to have the strongest and the best here. And that's why the pilgrimage was always meant to be somewhat difficult. Did not replace the fact that it has gotten way out of hand. Once called upon again, you met up with Elvira Brimstone, spoke with her briefly to make sure that she was at least on your side and would be there with you as you entered the elder's chamber once again. you spoke candidly with the elders upon a second meeting. The conversations grew tense, all sides leading, all sides having differences of opinion on what is to happen next. Is the lives of a few tieflings worth what they have been building and saving here for the time to come? This great conflict, this war between essentially the gods and their people. Should they risk what they've been gathering here in Zepharel with their territory already shrunk so small to assault the Horn Hunters and Zane? Through some conversation, you gained at least the favor of Rexus Unger, who spoke candidly about wanting to bring a few of his best to assault this stronghold, to accompany the rest of you if you are willing to make a stand, to not just sit by and watch their people get captured and brought to their death, slavery, and whatever else could be possibly behold someone sold into that type of predicament. An opportunity to perhaps change the fate, change the pilgrimage a little bit was offered by Valir, offering the council a change of scenery for the portal at least, to bring the tieflings and at least the gate to hell somewhere a little bit more favorable to passage, somewhere in the Silken Valley, perhaps. There are many conversations that still need to be had with the elders. There's still much to learn and much to divulge from this group and those that are willing to speak out about what they've experienced recently. Feeling as though things had fallen to a deadlock, Yuki Danzig, kind of the lead arbiter of the elders, put it to a vote. While other things need to be discussed and figured out later, the most pressing matter is what to do about Zane and his operation. And with 3 votes yes and 2 votes withheld, it was decided. Seven's deadly sin, you, along with Rexus, would lead a group back into the mountains, back to Zane's stronghold, and eliminate the direct threat. But preparations take time. And as I said, more conversations need to be had. So first, you are led out of the chamber. Elvira and Leola Brimstone at your sides. Well, Elvira at your sides. Leola's on top of 7, because
Yep.
that's how it goes. You find yourself now when we pick up just outside the Chamber of Elders, leading you in to Zepharel proper. And that's where we'll pick up tonight's session.
DM, quick question.
Sure.
I don't remember. Did you give us a location for Zelemond, or that's something that I need to figure out?
Last you were told, her prison was somewhere in the abyss.
Okay.
I did tell you how that you needed to break that prison.
Yeah, the first
Key,
sonnet, right?
yep, the key to awaking her would be the playing of the first sonnet.
Rose, did you have anything else before I ask him a question?
You can go ahead.
Okay. So, DM, I remember when we talked about it. Sorry, when we were having the discussion, it was like very passionate. So like, I don't think I have good notes for this part. We were specifically talking about the reference between of the war between the gods and their own people. I know that I was involved in some debate about that. I'm just having a little trouble remembering the details
We
of
pick
like specifically what was noted.
we pick the god that's going to pay us the most to fight for the other gods.
Yeah.
That was
We got
discussed,
Thoth.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, so basically it was the idea, just going into that a little bit, the thought and the idea of it was that to fuel the chaos that this world thrives upon, every undisclosed length of time, this kind of mass war, this opening of the portals, the different players essentially, the devil lords, the great old ones, the gods themselves, gathering their power, gathering their followers, eventually this clash would come.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
We had that whole argument over like determinism and like whether this was like definitive and like our own fates and this whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember now. That's all I have. Oh, and I just want to reference for everyone else, though Ravi remembers this, that there was reference to an invasion that all the council said was not yet. So just something to keep in the back of our heads there when it comes to how much we help the tieflings that aren't Zaishuri.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
all right. As the six of you, Draconis, Elvira, and Leola, all exit the chamber, doors, heavy set of double doors close behind you. You don't find yourself transported back through that tapestry that you once came. Instead, you see before you a long stretched, still that similar obsidian black colored hallway. You can now see and hear the rustle and bustle of what you can assume is different people, denizens of this. I'd say everyone actually give me, hold on here. I want a perception check.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start hitting Ravi on the shoulder. It's not just an encampment.
27.
16.
27.
15.
How do I click this button? It just keeps bringing up another sheet.
Yeah.
All right.
There you
21.
go.
Yeah.
I think as you exit, as you exit onto this hallway, and again, it's the first thing that I think hits all of you, and even more so since you left the Elder's Chamber, which felt warmer than where you came from, but still compared to this hallway, isolated from this heat that hits you first. Most of you are okay. Um, Valir and Suji, I think you are the first to realize it. You get a weird sense of it's not quite vertigo, but it's that weird sensation of you guys were when you went into this, into the tent and through the tapestry, you were on ground level. That was easy to feel. And in the chamber with the tension and, the conversations that were happening, it didn't hit any of you right away. But I think as you exit out into this hallway, you kind of get a glimpse out of a window that's not made of stained glass. It's giving you more of the perspective of where you are. You realize that, like, how high up you are. Like, you are at the top of a tower.
How close is the window?
From where you guys came out, probably about 15 feet, 10 feet, give or take.
For curiosity, I look out because I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah, I'll follow Valir since I think we're both on the same page.
As the two of you make your way over to the window, and just to get, a lay of the land, something, both of you are used to, especially in your times of travel recently. If you take away a look out the window, you can see it takes your eyes a second to adjust the glaring reds and blacks and darkened colors. The first thing you notice is confirming the feeling you got in your gut just a moment ago. You are 70, 80 feet high at the top of what appears to be a large cylindrical tower. Looking out, the things you see are a combination of well built stone and almost glass like buildings. You see rivers of lava and molten rock running through, which explains the heat.
Uh, I am so confused of this layout, Suji. I don't know. Uh, Listen, I usually know where I'm going. I just don't know what happened. And then I just I signal to the obviously not to make it like obvious, like I'm kind of like not concerned, but a little bit weirded out. So I just kind of call everybody else over and just like point to the window.
What do we see?
We're essentially like 70, 80 feet high up in like in a tower. And we just see like a lot of buildings made out of stone and glass, and we see like lava as well. Explain the heat.
Hmm.
It feels great in here.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Is- Well, see, the whole time I knew it all along, totally convinced they must have had a real city, just ready and hiding. Here we are. Bit warm, but I think I can manage.
The sure takes a big breath in. It's the perfect temperature.
Want to like touch the wall and look at it harder?
Okay.
Want to see if it looks more man-made or not?
Sure. Give me a intelligence check using your stone masonry, so it'll be with advantage.
How do I click with I'll just do 2 rolls. It's
Yeah.
straight intelligence then?
Yep.
All right. I clicked the number, it didn't do anything. All right. We got a 3 and a 2. Yeah. It
This
looks like
is some real nice stone and glass work.
yep. It's real good. Right there. I like
He,
that.
he doesn't know it. The heat's getting to him.
Yeah, 7 doesn't have an active cooling system built in. It's fine. I need a radiator built. Look, man.
Elvira's with us, right?
Yep. Elvira and Lola are currently with you.
I kind of just come up to Elvira and I try to whisper as quietly as possible.
Okay.
Any idea where I could find public records for the Jasperlog family? You guys surely keep track of every tiefling.
Yes. There's the historical society is pretty extensive. Depending on when you are wishing to go, I can either escort you or give you directions. That's not the problem.
I kind of look over at Robbie and I'm like, there's a historical society.
Oh, you know I'm coming.
Do you want to head there now?
Well, I would prefer that to just wandering aimlessly around this place. I'm not sure all the tieflings here will be as welcoming as the ones up there, but I guess we'll have to see.
I will take Elvira up on her offer to escort.
Well, I'm pretty sure I have to go with Elvira since I'm carrying Lilu?
Leola?
Leola.
Are you
Leola.
still carrying her? I thought you dropped her at some point. So.
No, she's still on me. I have to actively put her down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow suit too. I'm just curious to see. It'll be nice to have a tour guide. Especially knowing that I just don't have to walk 10 feet outside in the tents and see everything.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna break precedent now, just running around with a small girl on my shoulder. That's fine.
Very well. Yes, follow me. And in case we do, um, I didn't mean to give this to you before in case we get separated, or if any of you want to go off. Most people here won't give you a hard time, but in case any of them decide to, you see, she kind of like reaches into a pouch and pulls out three um, small gold like coin like sigils, and she kind of just hands them off to you, Zaishori. Um, you should be especially okay, but I would give them to some combination of the rest of your party. This bears she kind of gestures to Leola, uh, our house's symbol. Just let them know that you are, again, especially if you're not with Saishori and find yourself on your own, guests of the elders and the Brimstone family.
Well, I appreciate it. In case we do wander off, it'll be nice to have some sort of a backup.
I'll hand one over to. I have them right.
Yep, she handed you the three.
I'll hand one over to Ravi.
I will whisper to Zaishori. I thought she was giving us soul coins for a moment.
So I thought so too.
A little bit of walking around money.
Yeah, I wonder if there's anywhere we can spend those old soul coins.
I give one to Vintef and Volier.
All right.
Don't leave Suji or Seven alone, please.
I think I'm fine.
I think we will have to worry Seven leaving us. Nah, it's true.
True.
Yeah,
It's true. I'm very important.
I'm a guest.
Elvira, what is the currency here as we're walking along to the Historical Society?
Here you can definitely, trade and barter is always welcome. We do deal in coin and, gems and things of that nature. Uh, so not too different from what you're used to. Things that are useful up top are pretty needed here. Honestly, if you have it, water is actually a little bit more valuable down here. So if you have a way of trading that, you might actually get some good deals on that.
Immediately stares at Suji.
Right?
I'm gonna tell Ravi later
Really?
on. The jug.
Seriously,
Oh, the
printing
jug.
money.
Yes.
But would we be paid in soul coins?
I guess we gotta find out.
Mm.
It's not that we can keep them so far.
As you're having this conversation. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. But yeah, as you're having these conversations and talking to Elvira, and she's leading you down the hallway to a large spiral staircase that starts leading you down. Um, Still, conversations can be had. It's just kind of giving you the we're moving.
Okay.
So, oh, go
So,
ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say to Vintef. Like, so she's going to be looking up information on the Zelemons. What do you think we should dig into while we're here? Possibly the members of the council. Well, mm, hmm. Yes, I guess it is worth a broader look.
As she's leading you down the stairs, kind of to just very tour guidey. She's projecting back towards the rest of the group. So obviously we'll start with the historical society. But is there anything else you're looking to do while you're in city? Um, Obviously, I hope this is not the last time you have a chance to visit Safer proper. But in case it is, I want
What?
to make sure you get a chance to see.
Well, yes, I'd love some recommendation.
Hmm, recommendations. Historical Society is a good place for information. Um, she kind of looks at all of you. Hmm. I mean, as far as place for food, there's definitely a couple of local eateries that will serve quite a unique feast if you are open to a interesting palate.
Ooh.
Um,
Any churches?
yes and no. Um, Zephyral is loosely the city itself is a church, uh, obviously to the lords of the hell. So there's no necessarily how do you put it? There's no monastery or church of physical location that you're probably more used to topside, but there's plenty of places that give reverence to the lords.
What about your mages? Why do you train them in the city?
Um, we do have a small, not small. We do have a contingent of alchemists and alchemists that do reside here. We don't have she knowing a little bit about you guys from her own personal researches. Um, uh, our kind doesn't tend to lean to or get accepted by the more academic fields, but we do
Not
have
the book learning types. I understand.
Yes, we have plenty of very gifted born mages. But most of
Yeah,
our
some of
training
us.
is how to harness and control the powers you are born
Some of us have to study.
with.
It is under my breath.
Yeah.
Right. Well, no problem then. I'm sure I'll find some interesting material here to keep me busy, and I know at least a few of us will end up trying whatever that interesting cuisine you speak of is.
Is there a forge or a blacksmith shop?
She laughs slightly.
Yeah.
Some of the best you have ever seen.
I would like that.
Ooh.
Fuji's eyes light up a bit.
Yes, you've not seen somebody craft until you've seen them use molten lava and rock to temper steel and heat metals into form.
Then whispers,
It's a much
"That's how
different
I was
process.
made."
As the party realizes Suji starts wandering off.
I don't want to carry you again. You're already a horse.
So where are these blacksmiths you speak of?
The most prominent ones usually, uh, yeah, I'd say about this time, you get down to what is like the base floor. You can again see you all see this, but this will be mostly a sight for Saishori. As you as you're having this conversation and Elvira is answering your questions, you exit off this spiral staircase onto what is the ground floor. As you do, you enter this kind of large chamber, and you can see again, you heard the pitter patter of footsteps as you were walking down the halls and through the staircase onto like when you got to different levels. But as you exit the staircase and enter this kind of large open like foyer that leads into whatever you know, this is the chamber of the elders. You assume some sort of government like official type place. Saishori and all of you are greeted with the sign of the busied footsteps of 10, 20, 30, 40 tiefling individuals just walking about doing their everyday business, just moving about, carrying paperwork, talking to each other, moving frantically and like having hushed conversations and moving on quickly. That is the first thing you see as you exit the staircase.
I kind of just talk to Draconis telepathically, and I'm just like, holy fuck.
All right. This is yeah. Hmm. How you feeling?
This is insane. I don't think I don't think I know I have never seen this many tieflings before in one area. Imagine the rest of the place.
And this is only one building.
I know, right?
Oh shit.
The sure just kind of tries to like take it all in, taking note of like, oh my gosh, there's this color tiefling, this color tiefling. Oh my gosh, there's different kinds of horns. I mean, I knew there were different kinds of horns, but there's different kinds of horns.
Is
I
it
think you
like
do.
is it like an age thing?
Who knows? I barely know about myself. I
Would
guess
it be rude for me to ask?
You know what? You have that coin keeping you safe. I think you'll be all right.
That's true. I'll just walk around holding it. Like, I have questions.
Diplomatic immunity.
Even Seven thinks that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Seven will take extra care while walking through the floor not to drop Leola or step
Mhm.
on somebody.
That is fair.
Or bump in, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah, and as you're having this conversation, Elvira kind of in conversation with you, Suji. It's like, yes, if you once we get out of here, um, I mean, it's not hard to see if you head towards the what is it? The you can tell I don't get out very much. The Taper district is kind of runs along the lava river. That's where most of any of our those individuals who can harness the lava the best, aka armory, forges, um, things of that nature. Several actually restaurants. It's very wild.
Hmm,
Holy moly.
That's where you would want to head if you are looking for the blacksmiths.
I can't wait to try these restaurants.
Are you trying to go there first, Suji? I know that's piqued your interest. Put a pin on that then.
Yeah. I think he's just too overwhelmed. He shut down.
Nothing
Um,
high.
question.
He
Uh,
needs days out.
do you what kind of fabrics do you guys have around here? Kind of curious to see what kind of tieflings, kind of material they use.
I mean, I not knowing much about the subject. Lots of leathers, you know, leathers, hides, a little bit of things that breathe probably tend to do the best down here. Uh, but as far as functional things, it's usually leathers and hides.
I see. Well, if you recommend any store or whatever or cart whatever you guys have down here, let me know. Curious to see the craftsmanship that you guys are able to produce. As you could see, and then I kind of like show them the robe that
Mm,
VS made me. Um, my sister actually created this. It's a bit of fire resistant in case I had to deal with extreme heat or anything like that. It's working perfectly right now. That's why I was just curious to see what you guys are capable of doing.
huh, certainly intriguing, yes. And thankfully, resisting the elements has never been a practical concern for us, people. So I guess we never really thought about it, but it's definitely good to know. But you'll notice, and she kind of like she gestures to a lot of the people that you're passing, and even herself. She's like, most of the things that I wear are from my travels around. But most people down here, and again pointing out to like some of the people that are hustling and bustling here in the first floor of the elders' chambers. Um, Valir, you see a lot of practical garb, right? It's not so much for fashion; it's more so just you know nicely woven, base tunics and things that are airy and can breathe.
Hmm.
Those that are wearing anything that looks armored seems to be like less metal just for sake of not wanting to, have piping hot metal on their body. More, leathers and hides and the occasional like studded leather, breastplates and things like that. It's like not a lot of fashionable choices
Gotcha.
make it down here.
Okay.
AKA New Market. Who knows? But unless anybody has any objections, we'll start with the historical district.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Just so I know, do you want to? I know it is still getting later in the day. Um, we can go directly to the historical district now, or I didn't know if you wanted to possibly um, arrange room for the evening. Is there anything you want to top in? Like, admittedly, I am a little bit flustered from the conversation we just had. Um, so I would understand if there's, a need for any of you to discuss things further amongst yourselves. So I do not want to impose the fact that we need to go right now. We can go later if it is more beneficial to you.
I'm in a new area. I'm excited to explore. I'm good.
They sure kind of looks
Yes.
down like sheepishly. Me
Well,
too.
it's good to know we can spend the night here if needed. But yes, I'm happy to explore now.
Well,
Sure.
that's yes. I mean, I'll let you know the council has made a decision, which is already a good step. Um, well, it sounds like Rexus wants to move hastily, and I assume you all do as well. Um, I would not be surprised if it takes a few days to mobilize everything, especially if it sounds like Rexus is somehow negotiated 400 of our best.
Given the nature of our opponent, I would implore them to take their due time.
Wonderful. So I shall escort you to the historical district, and maybe I will leave you there for the evening and round up the things I need to do.
Sounds good.
There we are. We're going to the library. Uh, as you exit the large archways of the Elders' Hall, the heat, while steady, does not intensify any further from where you had previously felt it in the hallways and halls of the Elders' Hall. Saishori, give me. I want to call it a wisdom saving throw.
Whoa.
That's what I want.
Ooh,
Interesting.
spicy.
Yeah.
16.
I think you catch yourself on your back foot a little bit. Like you already had that moment of seeing 30 or 40 tieflings running around this first floor of this, complex as a lot. But as you enter into this town proper, exiting the grounds of the Elders' Hall, you can only sit there and catch your breath a little bit as you're confronted with not just a town, a city comparable
Whoa.
to Crowhaven. Vast streets lined with buildings and commerce and the hustle and bustle. You can hear the noise of people moving. And even just in the first 2 minutes of exiting this building, you lose count of the amount of tieflings. Like you're trying to calculate and see, like, oh, I saw, this many red ones and this many green ones. And oh my God, the different shades. And like your brain is starting to go into that like meltdown state of like, I can't keep up with the facts that are rushing into me right now because how many tieflings you are seeing in this moment.
She stumbles back a little.
I'd just like to see, is anybody, as we're walking the streets, are they giving us looks or anything?
Give me an insight check. So sure, as you stumble back a little bit,
I
Draconis
have
kind
no
of
idea.
catches you.
Draconis, did you know about this? Like this vastness?
Well, they've certainly upgraded since the last time I was here.
Holy moly. She kind of looks at everyone like wide-eyed.
I'm I'm happy there are some real sights for you, Laishori.
I don't think I ever felt this. hmm I don't think I ever felt this way before. I look like everybody else. You guys are the odd ones out now.
Well, we already experienced that in the drag.
I don't know,
Nothing
Sure,
new.
you're the only tiefling around here walking around with a bunch of elves.
Gosh darn
Ah, the odd one out.
it. I mean, I am the last of my bloodline of like a non-existent sixth demon lord. I know I'll always be different, but I feel good right now. I don't feel so different.
I mean, it is a nice city and town that we're in. Very surprising. Definitely better than those tents we saw. And also a lot better than Vintef's hometown, tell you that much. But
Did you mishear him?
it looks pleasant.
Yeah.
These
And
people are real, they're not ghosts. Do you not remember the spiders that attacked us? Are we getting attacked right now? No, they're being very friendly to us.
What?
I
How
remember other spiders in
dare
the
you?
other person's town.
But Leo, why would you put that sort of energy out there into the world?
Listen, I'm just saying. This Saishuri's hometown is it just looks better than Vintez. That's all I want to say.
Oh no, that part I agree with. I meant, why would you jinx us by saying we're not being attacked?
Oh. Well, after come on, Robbie. We should know just to be prepared. At this point, you know how many times we been ambushed while we're sleeping of all times? But let's just enjoy this while we're here, because I'm sure this is all fascinating, not just to Staishori, but to all of us.
yeah, these buildings are cool.
It's beautiful.
So yeah, about this blacksmith. So sure, maybe we can find you a tiefling Dory.
God damn it.
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna look up Olier. Take him away.
Okay.
Are we splitting the
And
party?
Oh shit.
We can.
Don't have to. It sounded like we're splitting the party.
It does sound like it.
are you guys going?
Since we just got here, I'm fine sticking together until we fully get a grasp of what's going on. It can wait.
Ah, I was gonna tell you to make me something good. Okay.
What you want?
An even better sword. Hey,
Maybe
if
maybe
it's
they can
possible, I want it.
maybe they can make me a better fist. Whole hand.
After what we heard, maybe a god killer.
I'm just gonna look at Vintith. I'm literally 7 with Loyola on my shoulders.
Hi, that's me.
That's better here.
I mean, here I am basically a god.
See? I got pointer. I'm going whisper. He has trouble talking to his god.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. We're
So
gonna
sure,
ignore.
even though it wasn't exactly his, don't you feel like your sword's almost a memorial sword now?
Yes, Saishori. You wield the dead man's blade.
Oh,
You must, in his honor.
I sure kind of looks
Unless you get a
down.
really amazing sword.
I sure perks up again.
Dead
Yes.
man's blade that he missed payments on.
So it's just like a technical repossession. It's fine.
Well, he
What?
knows when someone possesses something, and then he takes it back.
Yeah. It's repossessed. They had it, now I have it. Now it's mine. That's possession part. The re part I gotta figure out. Don't ask me why I know words. I might have been very highly educated.
Terrible.
I used to wander on Vintith.
Eh, we're back.
Charisma. Ooh, damn. Yep,
God
he
damn.
saved. But if you pretend you're happy enough and force to smile enough, you might just feel happy, Vintith. I'm helping. And again,
One more time.
you
God
son
damn,
of
he really does not want to smile.
he just scowls harder at me out of spite.
I think he's about to plop a blood vessel.
Yeah, he doesn't like it. It's the only magic I have. that I can show in a town.
Some of his best roles used on not smiling.
Yep.
We'll get into combat. 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Fuck off. So, as you take in the sights and kind of talk amongst your group as you move through town, you don't see anybody. Nobody seems to pay particular attention to you. There are, inquisitive looks and people kind of like nodding and understanding. Especially, you get the sense you're walking with two pretty important people. So more so, like you'll get the whispers of like, higher ups of the Brimstones are make, making their way through town. Like that's exciting. Oh, they're bringing outsiders into the town and showing them around, and nothing that seems like aggressive or out of place. More so, just gossip of what's happening currently. Eventually, probably about 15, 20 minutes of walking through the town, taking in the sights. Elvira leads you to a large kind of set of blackened staircase that leads to a single story building that appears longer than it is wide. Um, Welcome to the Zepharel Historical Society. If you're looking for any records or books on history or things that have been written and kept here, this is where you would most likely find it. Uh, Understand I cannot give you free access, but if there's particular things that you're looking to research or ask questions about, this would be probably the best place possible. Um, it's not so much off limits. It's more so what they are willing to share with certain people. The some of the more information about the uh, higher level information about the lords and some of the houses. Um, there are restrictive periods of history that I think are currently a bit above my pay grade. Uh, but most topics they probably should find something. I didn't ask for books. I hate them.
Fair.
I
I'm
love
only
her.
here. I could probably ask for some books, but only if my chariot wants them.
Should have been nicer to me, Vinteth.
Oh man.
You don't know how I feel.
Sounds like someone who's experienced the wrath of Vinta.
I'm just gonna whisper like, he's looking for more smut.
Ooh, he likes dirty books.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I can't. No, that's I am not allowed.
Good.
Just look hard at Vinteth. Nothing. Dirty elf.
Yeah. Creating more hate. Yeah. I'm gonna look as smug as I possibly can.
All right, if we're going, let's go.
All right. This is what I'm talking about. See how he treats me? I'm a person. All right.
All right.
I'll follow along.
Elvira leads you all inside. As you do, you enter up the staircase through a kind of vaulted archway, leading into a vast room of what appear to be long tables and chairs. Walls are covered basically floor to ceiling with different pockets of, scrolls that are wound up and placed into like cubbies on the wall. There's then like large shelved bookcases that are just completely floor to ceiling in tomes. Um, who speaks Infernal? I think it's just Saishori.
Well, yeah, we know at least.
Yeah.
So to anybody even to you, Saishori, there are words on the wall that don't have context to you because you aren't, born and raised with this language. This language kind of came to you like inherently. Um, Ravi, you look at this, you have no idea where to begin on like the organizational structure of this library. It is not in a way or fashion that you are used to.
So you're saying even
Um,
with comprehending the language, it's not helping.
Correct. There's a system here. You do not know the system.
Got it. Okay.
Elvira, can you kind of explain this?
I mean, I can explain as much as I am not exactly the literary type, but what I can do is basically, usually for outsiders specifically, I can. We'll go over to the desk over there, and you kind of see like past like a stack of books. You can barely see like the outcropping of a desk. Um, there we can at least assign you an archivist who should be able to help you pull books, pull tomes and scrolls, and then you would have time to take them to one of the study sections and research.
Okay, beautiful.
Leading you kind of through the hall to this little like desk area. You see Elvira like catches the attention of somebody and starts having a little quick conversation. Um, she comes over to you a moment later with a younger tiefling female, kind of hair pulled back, wrapped intricately around her horns, kind of a soft blue tone to her skin, pair of glasses kind of sitting just on the edge of her nose. Uh, Elvira kind of addresses you. This is Archivist Cayman. She will be helping you with any of your research purposes. Just let her know what you are looking for, and she should be able to help you track down any tomes or articles that pertain.
Is it just one archivist for the whole group?
Unfortunately, not a lot of archivists are assigned to this area, so we don't have many at the moment. But she should be able to help get things pretty rapidly. They are very familiar with the system here.
Kind of look at Ravi. Do you want to go first?
Well, I probably had similar questions to you. Remember, I'm looking for an artifact as well.
Okay, that's a
So
good
please,
start.
go ahead.
Can you find anything on religious artifacts. Maybe something that has the first sonnet in there, or a timepiece of Lux Forna.
All right. So, using the library for today, here is how this is going to work.
Oh boy. We got a system. Let's go.
Mhm.
There's always a system. All right. So, today you have the capability of each researching one topic if you wish. You don't have to use it today if you don't want to, and there's more days per research. Basically, you can present a topic. It's a investigation check on your part, basically to have the books pulled and give you some sort of information. Basically, it is a tiered system. DC 10 will get you something. DC 15 will get you a little bit more. DC 20 will get you a lot. 25 or higher. That yeah.
Do we
I
have to
will
narrow
I will
down
spill some
to
beans.
one of those? Or are you saying that each of us gets a roll?
Each of you gets a role on a topic if you choose to use it, that you're here.
Okay. I got you.
Oh.
So basically discuss amongst yourselves which topics each of you wants to research or have your, archivist pull tomes for you. And based on how well you roll is a combination of what books they're able to find, what information is available here, and how much information I will give you on that topic.
Got
Oh, I'm done.
Theoretically, you have 6 questions. There are 6 of you here.
it.
Ooh.
First question.
So,
Wiseman, get the
Zaishori,
bitch.
you can limit yours to the first sonnet then, if you feel like that'll help, or if you want to ask something more specific on Sepharis. Like I know we have his last known locations. Like I don't know if you want to go into him, but if you want to ask about the sonnet, just you can be specific.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna ask for the public records of the Jazzerlock family.
Mm. That's a good one.
So investigation?
Yep.
Oh no.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay. Who is next?
That sucks.
Could I look for the same thing?
Seven walks up to the counter. Check again.
I'll roll for it, guy.
If you will forego your roll, I will give Zaishori advantage.
Okay, I'll forego my roll.
Oh really?
Yeah, why not?
Nice.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, please, please, please.
Oh
Why did you
my
do that?
god. That's just come on.
No. I'm refreshing. There's something wrong with this. Bad dice.
Oh my gosh.
We-
DM, which item was my family heirloom exactly? The one he stole.
Um, well, it's not confirmed whether or not you stole it from you. I think the other heirloom the other artifact he was in possession of that might be from your family was the scroll of Febris, if I recall
Yeah, that
correctly.
sounds
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
I'll try to investigate for scroll of Febris. Even though they might not have anything in general, but it's at least curious of me.
Nice.
Okay. 19.
What do you do?
All right. Who is next? Well, one today. That's the other thing. Yeah.
Is this us asking the person behind the counter, basically?
This is a combination of yes, giving the person behind the counter the information that you are looking for, and her ability to pull it, and you to then research the tomes that she finds that are within the context of what you're looking for.
Got it.
All right.
Please.
Whisper to Leo. That's what he gets for trying to look for dirty books.
Oh gosh.
It was weird that he whispered that.
Thought you had to
So,
be
yeah.
quiet in libraries.
All right. See, now I'm scared of rolling dice. We're not finding nothing. Yeah, I'll go. I will see. Um, I'll see what information they have on the Great Old Ones.
Okay.
Great old ones. Oh,
All right.
Nice. Good shit. Got that natty.
There.
With that mighty +1. So
I need it.
I'll be right back. I gotta let my dog out.
Yes, sir.
Leaves
all right,
us
I
with
will
Ravi.
I will show the this was a woman at the counter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I will pull out the piece of stone, the stonework item,
Mhm.
the broken one, and say, so I'm not sure where to get started on this one. I feel emanation from it of all 7 schools of magic, but I also know it's broken. So some part of me wants to research repair of magical artifacts. The other wants me to look into anything you might have concerning items that are imbued with all schools of magic. I'd see where she directs me based on that. I know I'm kind of hedging my bet there.
Yep. May I roll?
Is it an investigation?
Yes.
Okay. Since this is me and somebody else, can I use one of my
It's still
rerolls
your
or
check,
no?
so yes. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we'll give that one a try.
Things like this, I like to force these onto your
There we go.
guys' roll than, random NPCs.
Yep. All right. So yes,
Nice, nice.
I can see her eyes glazing over, and I snap to a timeline where I explain that in a more exciting manner. Really got her engaged. Now, wouldn't you like to know what it does? Because I would.
All right. So, um, being later in the day, she takes all the requests from the 6 of you, and she goes, "Okay, give me some time. I will just and run down anything I can on these topics. Um, just give me a little bit." And she rushes off. You are all kind of led to a. Uh, you have you have Leoa, and you guys are led to like a private, like not quite a booth, but like a section where you can have your own tables and research, more private research room essentially than the large open tables that are left here in the center of the uh, historical society. Some time goes by. You're left there for a little bit. Eventually, she just starts like coming back, dropping stacks of books, dropping a book here or there, kind of remembering who asked for what and is pushing them out. She goes to each of you, and Saishori, she comes over to you first and she goes, I am terribly sorry. We have information, but we are not able to give that out at the moment. It's just a little bit sensitive.
Sensitive?
Yeah, it is. It's under honestly a higher level security than I was even aware existed at this library. And I know you have one of the elders with you, and she's actually not allowed to access it.
What?
Shit.
Then who is?
I don't know. I was just told that it's not something that I can give out, even at that clearance level.
I'm about to turn
I'm
into a
sorry.
Karen.
I'm sorry.
Told by who?
Oh, by my, it's literally, I couldn't even get to it. Like I was looking for the information, and like my higher up said that it's in a vault that's not accessible except for very, very distinct circumstances that they would not tell me. 'Cause I even said, I'm like, I have Leola Brimstone with this party, and they said that's not good enough, and I don't know what that means.
I kind of go over to Leola. So there's a sixth demon lord. I'm the last of the bloodline. Would that make me an elder?
You see, she thinks for a second. It's like, I, I mean, maybe. I don't know. That's probably a discussion we were supposed to have tonight, but they were more focused on killing a guy. Huh. Yeah, you should probably look into that.
Thank you, Leola.
Of course. Yeah. Push a 7 to push through another stack of books. Eh. You all hear just like fucking domino. Like, whee! I can do what I want.
Heck yeah.
They're trying to shop a Warforgers in a library.
Meanwhile, she brings over. So she brings over to you a single. She's like, I couldn't find much, but I did find it's kind of like a. There's mention of some of the like old days where like the gods were like around, and there was mention like here, and she like hands you again, not the biggest book. um Looks like mostly just like small quick written facts and notes about like talking about the gods, and there's a passage. Nothing seems to be very detailed. You get to the section about Febris though, and it talks about how to put this. 19. I'm gonna give you some stuff. Um, get into the section about Febris specifically, which is kind of like earmarked for you. It talks about his interaction with some of the earliest members of what would become the mages academies. Um, it talks about how early on, Istra Formael, who is the goddess of magic, helped bring magic to this world. Febris was kind of the one to help solidify magic in the world for everyone. Istra Formael brought magic and therefore helped people who are already innately tuned to magic use it. Febris was the one who figured out how to write that into spells. He was the one who kind of gave the mages schools there first how to become a wizard, essentially.
Gotcha,
And
gotcha.
the thing that you read off on, and again, it's weird in its translation, and as is most things when it comes from old, even old common translate different than current day common. You get to a point, Suji, with just again your standard wisdom. You're reading it and you're kind of going over it again and again and again, and a part that can be interpreted as the gift of Febris, the book of Febris, scroll of Febris. This almost encyclopedia of magic. This first thing made. And that's kind of the information you're gathered from this kind of excerpt from this book.
I'll kind of call over Ravi just to be like, hey, this might be really interesting to you, since, kind of teaches about the history of magic and everything, and being like, wow, if we ever find that scroll, you probably really want to read that.
I heard the parts about Febris, but what was the part about the individual scroll?
That the scroll was kind of like potentially one of the first encyclopedias of magic.
Uh, yeah. Do I have time while I'm doing my own thing to take a look as well? DM.
I mean, everything he gives you is kind of it's a lot of broad strokes. There's not like anything detailed here. It's just kind of like
Okay.
that was what he gave you is the interesting part.
Ah, gotcha. Well, Suji, if we ever find that scroll, you'll see me locked away for several weeks or however long it takes me to get through the entire thing.
It's also crazy. Like, I knew my parents were high up in the magic, but them to potentially have that. Wow.
Wait, what? You're saying this was possibly in your family's possession?
Yeah, it was definitely the thing that was always in my house. And, when they got attacked and killed, it was definitely missing.
Oh my god. We have to find these things urgently.
Ravi, as you're having that conversation with Suji, you dive back into the research that you were given. The thing that you are handed, the tome that you are given, starts to talk about pieces of the last Chaos War, the last time the gods and their entities were here.
Mhm.
Loose facts and details are at your disposal about things that you've kind of heard recently and from the elders, um, lining up with periods of dark history from the world that you come from.
Mhm.
Thing stands out to you is this: a battle that took place somewhere that mapping wise you can only think is um somewhere near the center of Falthier. Somewhere near, not quite a major city, but like in that kind of central landlock area.
Somewhere near Central Falthier, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
A battle ensued between several forces. Had been waging on for several days. Casualties on every side didn't matter. Lines were blurred. Friend and foe was hard to determine. An entity wreathed in light stood at the center of the battlefield, holding aloft what appeared to be a magical rod of some sort. The person in the image holding the rod itself looked, to call it a rod actually in this moment is wrong. It looked more of a staff, long in hand, probably 3 or 4 feet total. The details of what happened and what transpired is lost time here. But the last thing that is noted is the shattering of the staff and the ending of a conflict. 7 pieces scattered throughout Felthier.
There it is. Yep. Is there any indication as to this artifact's name or title or anything along those lines? So,
In the research you can find here, no. Even the entity that held this staff is unnamed in the documents you were able to find.
And this is part of the history that was erased for us. The
Correct.
history that no one in our communities or country really would know.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or at least not that it's been widely shared to the populace.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to read that.
All right. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Valir, strap in because it's gonna be a lot.
Oh, baby.
I'm ready.
Yeah, you just okay. So because we just established that these people have knowledge that has essentially been deleted from our collective memory as people /
Yeah.
elves. So,
So yeah, because like they said that they had information even like before the Great Old Ones and up to them. So I'm like, I need to know this because like nobody else knows anything besides just elementals, and that's it. So.
yep.
And I've got the one memory of being in that war.
Mm-hmm.
I need to read these things. I should have. I'm sorry, Zosher, but I should have asked my own question.
We get
Oh,
more.
yeah. Honestly, yeah, Seven.
Yeah.
Or Manny. I'm very surprised given the amount of things you could have been asking about.
I know,
But
but
I get it though. That was a
this-
very disappointing first roll.
yeah. Well, I think it's also fair. I am distracted with the one of the gods of this land, essentially. Knocking things
Treating
over.
you
My-
as her
it's fine.
taxi.
Yeah. Which is fine because this one's fun.
This sounds fun.
Yeah, she didn't ask for books. She hates reading, so all I can assume is she has access to all of the weapons.
I love the logic.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. Or at least something very entertaining.
I'm just thinking how much we could charge Chauncey to come down here.
Oh yeah, he still needs to get in contact with me. Need one of them sending bills real quick. Hey Chauncey, where's my info? But we're here for a couple days. I'll ask tomorrow about giants and Rugborg and or what was in those hills over there because that was all giant architecture.
That would be pretty fucking funny if we're
Yeah.
here in the city for 3 days and everybody spends it in this fucking library.
Yeah, I got time. How long do I need to get cleaned and see if they got something cool someone wants to throw at people?
I mean, then again, it's not ridiculous that we would attempt to spend more time here after we know that these people have info on all of this collective forgotten memory. There's probably so
Yeah.
many questions we could think about asking.
Yeah.
I'm staying here until I get a good roll.
Not leaving the library.
Gotta get back into it. It's so weird. This keyboard's so quiet.
I was considering asking about Ormond Gore, but I have other priorities.
Yeah.
He's not up on your list.
I mean, he's there, but all I really care about is that he wants to go kill the Crest guys and help me out. So, I have other pressing matters.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right. Clear.
Yes.
Different tomes and books are placed among you and your party. A single book is placed in front of you. Taking your time to read through the pages, this too is from a century, a war, long redacted from at least elven and human history. Zelenkov has always been, as far as you've been told, will always be a land war torn and wrought with chaotic energy. This book, undated, unfeathered with its information, speaks of a fight that happened that doesn't include any of the gods of name that you know. There's no Crowan, no Soren Lyn, no Istrafala, no Rukbarg, no Bellamy, no Echo, no Dualtat. This fight includes but 4 individuals, 4 nations, 4 armies, from an undisclosed time long, long before. A battle raged on here, on Zelenkov soil. Raging flames and plains of fire. Lava flowed. standing tall, red in skin, inflamed of head. Paraxius, the warding flame, crashed against walls of water, seas of ice. Taichono, the raging wave.
Can you spell that?
I'm going to put all of these in chat. Do not
Alright.
worry.
Bet. Thank you.
Windswept lands, arid. Windswept lands and arid seas, choking out the life of those that need what he could provide. Symphora, raging earth, earthquakes, and faults of man. Core, agorde, the shifting sand. The constant struggle between four entities, both powerful and equally matched. The world knew no peace as the storm that they brought raged on. I will drop those in chat. They are in Thursday chat. I will say at this time, give me a straight wisdom check as well.
Okay. 19.
As you finish reading through this kind of passage, this book that's again not overly detailed as far as talking about like historical facts and figures and dates and things of that nature. As you read these titles, you read these names and these small descriptions that you get. You remember a time, feels not too long ago, sitting in the den in Ashfeller, speaking to the broker. When wide-eyed and a little bit of excitement reached his lips as he spoke of the history of this world and the impact of the great old ones. And while he didn't know it then, he exclaimed a single statement about them. These aren't just figures, they had names.
Hmm.
And that was one of the things he wanted to find.
You are welcome, broker.
Takes you the better part of the afternoon and into the early evening as you all frantically run around this library, reading through books and passages as you're presented with different information in books. But at the end of it, you are all end up with the information you've been given and are allowed to essentially know that either your time here for the day has come or you want to reconvene to figure out what's next. What do you want to do?
The blacksmiths.
I hear Seven say that. I just start nodding my head.
Yeah, need a break from reading. Time to exercise these servo. Yeah, it's time to go.
And of course, similar to what Suji did, until you guys tell me you tell everybody else, assume your information is yours.
Mhm. Well, I'll reconvene for some story time, before we go out. So, anyone have anything interesting from today's studies?
Absolutely fucking
I was
nothing.
really I was really proud to see everyone, really really getting at it, reading,
Yeah.
preparing.
If you
Warms
push
my
this
heart.
shelf into that shelf, they all fall down.
Did you attempt that?
We did it
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah. Give her a
Well,
high five. Bang.
at least some of us did some productive reading today, so that's
I
something.
look down. I look down. I got nothing.
Well, I kind of you see the shock on my face because considering that we knew nothing of the great old ones, but um, their names are listed on here, the great old
Oh, we needed those, didn't we?
ones. Yeah, for the broker.
Yeah.
They just
I
casually had the names of the great old ones here.
yeah, there's just a short little well, not short, but a story about them just describing like, what uh I guess you could say element they were controlling and stuff like that. Their names are on there. And I kind of like I mean, as best as I could, write down the names and stuff. So I can remember. So I should kind of show Robbie what I wrote
Do
down.
you do you plan on leveraging this information with the broker or giving it to him freely?
I mean, I'm we can leverage as a group.
Seven
I'm
puts
all
away his
down.
notepad.
I'm all down for that. Uh, Obviously, now that you guys know I have tons of money, money's not really something I want from the broker. I don't know.
I understand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now we all have money, so money is not an issue for us from the broker. So, what were you thinking about leveraging?
His vault was pretty cool.
Hmm?
We could go back in there.
I mean, if I had my choice, it would be one of his spells. But for the rest of you, I mean, yes, the vault does exist.
He's
But
got
look,
cool mystery items in there, guys.
but Leah, forget about the broker though for a moment. Wouldn't
Yes.
this information amongst like your monastery or those who follow in your ways, wouldn't this elevate you in some way?
He- Well, I mean, considering that I kind of slacked off there, I think they'll be quite surprised that I somehow found this information out. They'll probably wouldn't believe me, not thinking
Mm.
about it, considering that, I didn't really take the training too seriously there. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they'll actually believe me if I told him I know their names and stuff and just a little bit
Hmm.
more history of you know the the war and stuff.
What if they ascend you to be like their leader?
That's kind of what I was thinking. I mean, this seems like the sort of thing that's a big deal. Jeremiah is one of the most powerful people I've personally ever met, and he couldn't find this information.
True. Huh, I don't know. Well, if I ever run into the headed monastery, I'll let you guys know how that goes. It's been quite some time since I've been there. But either way, this was a great find. I am really surprised we found their names, but kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of anticlimactic that it was just here, if that makes sense.
It's not about, you know, the ease of the information. It's about what you do with that information.
Right,
That's
right,
going to be
right.
the interesting part. But I see what you said. Valia, I would look at it like this. Think about the difficulties we've had at basically absolutely every turn of this journey. I would count your lucky stars that for once something did come, quote, easy. And if what you define as easy at this point of our lives is taking a trip to literal hell, maybe that should put things a bit in context for me.
Absolutely. Like don't get me wrong. I am completely grateful that this information was here, but I guess
Hmm.
it's after everything we've been through and how much of pulling teeth we had to do just to find out a little sliver of something. That's why I say it's kind of anticlimactic, but this has been fantastic.
I'd like to
I'm
raise a
just,
concern.
Yes.
please.
Considering that this information is, as far as we all know, even Jeremiah doesn't know it, we could be the only people topside who have access to this, other than any tiefling scholars that would exist in the overworld, right? So
Right.
the fact that this is just freely given to us without so much as like a second glance, but the Jezrelog stuff is still under lock and key, I feel like it's being fed to us to distract us from the other stuff.
Mm.
It's possible, but remember, Jezrelog is a tiefling. There is potential that could be part of the reason that some of that information is being, held closer to the vest. Whereas this is not related to the tieflings directly, so they don't care to hide the information.
Y- Yeah. I feel like they didn't really care about the other gods. I don't know. That's just the way they were talking about like the history. They're like, yeah, whatever. It's just history you guys don't know, and then just left it as that.
I'd love to be that
You do make
optimistic, but we haven't had any good reason to be that optimistic
wait.
so far.
Did Zaishori told us about what happened with the restricted info?
Thought so.
I mean, it was pretty out loud.
Oh, okay. So then I'll just respond and say, you do make a fair point, though. If even one of the elders down here isn't enough to unlock that information, then who exactly is keeping it private? I would bet on that yellow.
Mm, that one.
The yellow one.
Just something to keep
So,
in mind.
well, look, I have no evidence to point to him directly, except for the fact that he's a dick.
uh, Mavron, right? That was his name.
That's
Hashtag
correct.
Mavron did nothing wrong.
Yes,
Mavron, more like Mavron.
yes. I don't know. I don't know who would have more say or power. Um, than well, actually, I didn't
It,
know. It didn't make sense to me that you know Leoa didn't have access to this. I didn't know there was like rankings of how much access the 5 of them get? I thought they were just on equal power.
Apparently, some council members are more equal than others.
Right. We might have to play nice with him.
I will say Jeremiah has been very forthcoming with everything we've asked for. So while I wouldn't try to negotiate, I would more word it as like a suggestion, like, "Hey, we got some big news. Something
I'm
cool as a
sure
reward
he
might
will.
be." And yeah,
He will compensate us fairly for something so valuable, assuming we do want to give it.
Right. Uh,
I remember we are contractually obligated. Give him what you find.
sure. He didn't say when though.
We are not not related to that specific information. We aren't under.
Actually, yes.
Technically, he said that the job we had been given is done when it came to the information we gave him related to the sinkhole.
Yes, the waste delay lines and all that. I told
Yes.
him what happened there. Beyond that, he just, I mean, he kind of just mentioned it to us about the Great Oda ones and how he knew they had names, but no one knew. But seeing how he is, I don't know. I kind of feel he had a gut feeling that we were going to find it eventually.
Hmm.
But either way, it's information we have. We can put a pin on it, discuss later when or how we want to tell him if we want something from him. He doesn't know we have it yet.
I had forgotten
7,
our.
don't tell him.
Right,
Like,
fair
don't
point.
tell the broker.
If you don't tell him now, Seven, you might be able to get something cool if we tell him later.
7 squints. Explain.
Well, you see, this is information the broker wants, and the broker has lots of nice things in the vault that I'm sure you would love to get your hands on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, then we're all agreed.
But how do I know what I want if I can't see it?
Well, you seem satisfied with the hemp seed.
Well, mostly, but if you guys don't talk to me, I have to battle things. And not in a way that I can win.
And
Don't you
DM, I
still have?
assume Elvira's not exactly in this conversation.
At this point, probably not. No, she's like
Okay.
she's around, but she's not like hanging around your conversation currently.
Gotcha. I was just gonna say to the rest of the party, I'm like, I mean, we could ask Elvira, if she's ever sold any information from down here or tried to look into anything for the broker down here.
Portal has
Sure.
closed. Your DM ended. You.
Oh no,
Uh-oh.
it just timed out because I wasn't clicking things.
Okay.
Yep, get in there.
Agreed.
Man.
I need a visual.
Look at the hellscape. Look at it.
Lovely. Huh. That is interesting though. I'm sure. Well, actually, I don't know if Elvira has ever been curious about the information here, because if she read everything that we have, why didn't she tell the broker? For example, the names of the Great Old. I'm pretty sure she knows that he's been curious about it and wanting to know. Why didn't she say it then?
She said she wasn't a library person.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Could also just not be her role with the broker. I'm sure he uses different people for different things.
Also true.
That is a good question, though. He has such good rapport with Elvira. How is she not able to get this already?
Maybe he just didn't ask.
Also a possibility.
Yeah, he has rules to what he can and can't ask of people and what he can do directly himself. That sounds like a direct thing.
Mm, that's very true.
He's like, investigate the hole. The ley lines are missing versus telling us exactly why, because I think he knew.
Possible that the broker knows more than he lets on, and he's trying to lead us to find out the information so he can talk to us really about it.
Well, we know the broker knows more than he
Yeah.
can say due to his obligations. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been very informative. Can't wait to come back. I don't know about you guys.
Well, at least we got one major success on day one.
I'm happy you guys had better luck.
you'll get him tomorrow, as I sure do.
Now what?
They were mentioning something about a blacksmith.
Yeah.
And I want to try whatever that weird cuisine is.
Yeah, I want to try the food of my people.
Lava lizards.
Lava lizards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
down
when
with-
you say lava lizard, do you mean that literally?
I mean, it's a lizard and they live in lava.
Oh, wonderful.
And the only way to cook them, because obviously they're very heat resistant, is actually to like flash freeze them.
Just the
Oh.
novelty of that alone means I must try it.
They're very crunchy and delicious and kind of meaty. It's great.
So they cook after they die. Got it.
It's kind of like they're already cooked and you just kind of like I don't know, flash
Yeah.
freeze them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I like it.
Right. We will
There's
try.
other things. Never had Nalfashni wings.
No.
I can't say that I have, no.
Have you had a non-life engine?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Robbie, how would you describe that? Because the only way I can think of is like sort of like a person, but it's not.
Well, I would say, Seven, that you are a creation of sorts, but you have a soul.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those things don't have them. Also, boy
are
won't
we?
just go squish.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a frog, but ugly.
Okay. Are we getting food now? Is it food time?
Sure.
Yeah.
Woo! Dinner.
We're-
Space of the library. Hard to tell night from day, as you are now underground and surrounded by molten lava.
Is there a day-night cycle in hell? As I look around.
Doesn't appear to be.
Are there people out and about?
Um, Less so now than there was a few hours ago when you first came to the library. But it's still out and about, yeah.
How do we tell time down here?
I say we just wing it.
All right, Chariot, guide us to wherever we're going.
I wanted for the last time today.
Get him.
12.
Just made it. How dare you?
How dare I? How dare you?
Yeah. Right. So, Leola, which way towards the food?
It's this way. And she
Alright.
starts pointing you in a direction. Also, I need you to roll a d20 for me.
Okay. Wait. It's 6.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. That's not terrifying at all.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
So, as you leave the Historical Society, Leola leads you to the direction of dinner. And depending on how adventurous you're going to get with it, you are able to try out the different delicacies of Zay Farrell.
Sure.
Delicacy.
I would like to try one of everything, but I need it brought at the same time for mechanics purposes.
I need it to finish it in a minute.
Yeah.
Easy enough to do.
All right.
Cool. You are all fed quite well on the dime of the Brimstone family. Is there anything else you want to do? If not, after dinner, being later in the day, most of the blacksmiths have gone home for the evening. So probably something you would want to address first thing in the morning. Elvira would address all of you. um, so it is getting pretty late. I sure I should be getting Leola back home. Would you like me to bring you to a inn for the evening, somewhere you can rest up and make your home base? Like I said, it should probably. I'm sure Rexus is going to be pushing pretty hard at the council to get this moving as fast as possible. But I assume we're probably here for a couple of days before anything mobilizes.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you tell time down here, Elvira?
It takes some getting used to. She kind of points off in the distance. There's like a you can't go by the light, obviously, because there is just constant glow of red and lava and heat. But she kind of points back to where the Elder Tower is, and you can see what appears to be some sort of like gear worked clock on it that kind of gives you a rough estimate of day and night, essentially.
That makes sense. I wish I would have noticed that when we left.
Not many people look back at the tower after they leave the tower. It's very odd. It takes some getting used to. Especially at the inns, most of the rooms have heavy blackout curtains to help you not see the glowing light from the outside.
Appreciate it.
But she would lead you back through one of the more social districts with pretty much where you left the restaurant, a few doors down, pointing down the lava river. She kind of looks to Suji and goes, "If you keep going down this way, in the morning, you'll see several of these smokestacks of the different blacksmiths that are here." Um,
Several, you say?
yes, there's last I checked, somewhere three, might be four now. At least three that I'm aware of.
I guess in a sense, I'm kind of curious too. Like, I get that this place seems amazing for blacksmithing, but what's your real purpose of it down here? It doesn't seem like the town was that well armed. And can't.
Uh, so many of the denizens down here might not wear their uh, more plated armor, but it is preparing for the war that would come next. It will not be taking place on, she kind of gestures outward, our home turf.
So preparation.
Of course. And of course, we do some exporting as well to help fuel our, you know, war effort. So occasionally we'll send out bands of merchants with some of our wares.
Um, so this is a whole different area. Do you guys have any unique resources that come exclusively from you instead of Zelenkov?
That you'd have to check with some of the blacksmiths. I'm actually not familiar with a lot of the crafting elements. I am, you say, more of a strategist. I am not so familiar with the make and model, as it were.
Okay, that's fair.
I have a question about how many citizens live here. They all tiefling?
Last I checked Oz numbers, we are somewhere around 9,000, almost 10.
Gonna look at Zaishori. 9,000.
I whisper, it's
9,000.
over 9,000.
Eat.
I
Son
got
of
it.
a
I got
bitch.
it.
Try not to, okay.
I got it.
You had to.
Elvira, how hmm, how do I go about arranging a meeting with the council again?
Outside of the normal conversations will come with the declared raid of Zane. Are you asking?
Can you repeat that?
Outside of the next meeting you would make for the raid on Zane.
Yes.
You want a separate council meeting?
Yes.
Um, I mean, it's certainly not out of the question. The council has been petitioned for particular meetings before. If I am correct in my assumption, if you go to the first floor of the Elder Tower that we were in earlier, there is a desk that you can propose a meeting and a topic of conversation. And then I think as long as the conversation is backed by, I think it's two elders, they will schedule you for an appointment.
Okay, so I need to talk to two elders to talk to all the elders.
Well, you need to put in a formal request at the tower, and then based on the elders' backing of the formal request, as long as you have two that back your request, it will be put on the docket based on, as far as I understand, urgency. So if it's something that they need to meet on right away, they will gather the council immediately. If it's something that the council is like, we want to meet on this, but it can wait a week, they'll schedule for a date and time.
Okay, thank you.
Of course. And during these conversations, walking out of the restaurant, further down, Elvira brings you to an establishment known as the Lava Hearth Tavern.
Are we all staying in one room again?
It's up to you. How many rooms do you want?
And I turn around to look at everybody.
We should probably stay close by. We don't want to stray too far. I mean, I'm fine with getting um different rooms. We just need to make sure we're close to each other,
Alright.
just in case.
I'll make that request.
How many rooms and for how many days?
I turn around again. Are we doubling up?
Safer than leaving us on our own.
We don't all have to be in one room, but
No,
wouldn't mind doubling.
at least 3 rooms.
At least two,
So
minimum 3.
so 3 rooms, possibly for 3 days.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Three rooms, 3 days, cost you 7 gold pieces.
I got it.
Or 2 glasses of water. Kidding.
All right. As you pull in for the evening, Elvira pulling a overtired Leola from your shoulders, 7.
Yeah.
I am going to get her back to the estate to rest, but I will check in with you in the morning, yeah?
Good
Sounds
night.
good. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you all. And then I look forward to our lucrative friendship.
Yeah.
As she goes to say her goodbyes, she goes to you, Saishori, just kind of gives you a half hug and just whispers in your ear, and it's like, I told you had to see it for yourself. Hope it was worth it.
I give her a big smile.
As she exits, carrying a very sleepy Leola on her arms. Is there anything you wish to do here in the tavern? You have your 3 rooms. You can retire to one of them. You can stay here in the bar. Is there anything you wish to do before an evening's rest? Any conversations you wish to have outside of prying ears?
Well, seeing as we're standing by the bar still, I don't know, like who's in the bar?
I'm gonna grab a drink.
There are many tieflings. I suppose that's not the question you're asking.
Rowdy, are there any non-tieflings?
Taking a look about, you do not see any non-tiefling denizens of this particular inn at the moment. You see this time of night, probably outside of your group, a dozen patrons or so that appear to be either here, you know, having drinks, having, small barred food, and just like relaxing after a long day. Um, you get the sense from the fact that you got rooms that are pretty much next to each other that this is much more of a bar than it is a inn. They do have rooms for rent, but you get the sense that not needing to be prepared for many visitors, there are not a lot of people staying here. So most of the people that are down here in the bar are here just to drink and relax.
Gotcha. Anybody paying a little too close attention to us?
Give me an insight check.
That is a good question.
I'll do one too. I'm nosy.
Go for it.
Same.
23.
14.
19. Who's
She's
looking at
more
seven?
looking if anyone looks like they're blacksmiths in here.
Suji's standing outside just tapping his foot like, come on, open. Yeah. Um, say Suji, it's hard to tell if anyone's a blacksmith in because like the usual signs you would look for is like soot and grime and dirt, and like everyone is covered in soot and grime and dirt and lava stains. It's a hard thing to pick out in this crowd.
I'm not actually doing it, but I'm just imagining running up to everyone. Are you a blacksmith? Are you a blacksmith? Are you...
Yeah. So Suji, in the matter of 10 minutes, you ask everyone in the room if they're a blacksmith, and there are no blacksmiths in this bar currently.
Gotcha.
Um,
Bar.
Now everyone's just looking at the weirdo asking for blacksmiths.
Vintev.
Yeah.
As a crowd, as you all kind of get settled here in the bar area, you get your room keys and get kind of the lay of the land and where your rooms are going to be. This is a single story building, so there's actually no upstairs. It's kind of like down a hallway, and there's like rooms off, further back.
His headset died or something. He's plugging in the IE. He goes. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Technical difficulties.
Jim's a bitch.
We like this.
I was abandoned as a child.
Hello.
Flip
Hello.
it. Hello.
Oh,
Sorry about
Hello.
that. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
You're on your phone or something now?
Yeah, something happened to my computer, but it's okay. We're almost done. Anyway, Vintev,
Yes.
as you scan the bar at the general patrons here that are having a drink, you see none of them at first give you guys a second glance. Again, there's the immediate like first impact of like, oh, there's visitors, there's outside people here. They don't seem to pay you any mind. But off in a corner bar, you wouldn't have noticed it except for he lingered his gaze just a moment too long. Just a little bit of staring. An individual focuses in on 7. And as he catches you catching him, he quickly scurries his head, he turns his head quickly and into his drink.
Hmm. I'm gonna go talk to him.
Yeah. You do that. I didn't notice him look at me, so we're fine.
I'm gonna eavesdrop.
So you start to approach the corner booth
I
to
approach.
engage this man. That's for in tonight's session.
Hey.
Ooh, mystery man.
Yeah.
Mystery man checking out 7.
That's not the first time I've been checked out. Probably the beard and the fade.
We're back.
Yeah. Oh,
Yup.
so good.
Happy to be back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed tonight's lore drop-y session.
I
Hey,
have
Lure
so
Drop is
many
a good way to get
questions.
back in.
So yeah, tomorrow gonna have to talk to Ravi about that stuff he found out. Seems like it might pertain to me a little bit. I gotta think about what I want to ask the archivist. Archivist? One of those words.
But yeah, something like that. So.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. The book lady.
The book
Archivist?
lady.
Archivist. Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
But we continue our delve into Zepharel proper.
Hell yeah.
So many tieflings.
So many. It was,
No
in
little
fact,
time.
over 9,000.
I was so tempted to tell it isn't that 9 to 10,000. What 9,000?
Yeah. It's over 9,000.
Over 9,000. Please be accurate in your assessment of these tieflings.
Yeah. I would have been very disappointed in the group if no one made the reference. It's something that had to be said.
Yeah, that's a hard one. So.
Yeah. But we're back. I convinced one of the gods of this town that Vintet's a pervert.
Fucked up.
Look, man, a dirty book is a dirty book.
Only one book I read. Okay. Thumbs.
It's dirty.
Book of Sornlin.
You know, I can make one of those too, you know. Out of spite, Seven will waste 1 square foot of the magic paint and make the book and to just rip it in half.
Diabolical.
Okay, no one in this town worships his god. Look, a literal god can get away with calling me a chariot with no consequences. Vinteth cannot.
Well, she's an elder
Yeah, she's an elder.
and a god.
In this town, she is. They pray to them. At least her bloodline. And she got her position for power. She has that much power.
I need to make myself one of these elders.
I mean, by all rights, you should be, I believe.
I feel entitled.
Yeah, you're the most powerful of that bloodline.
Most powerful, the only fucking one remaining.
Most powerful is a nicer way to say that.
That's right.
If they deny me, I'm releasing the bitch.
Yeah.
Like Shori Unleashed is coming out.
Oh my gosh.
It's fine. But yeah, there's now I have to ask questions, to write so many notes. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna ask questions of the blacksmith too. It's like, hey, forge this hand into a more powerful hand. I believe in you.
I'm gonna ask him deep personal questions about his life. Tell me about your kids.
Yeah.
I need to know all.
Yeah.
They all died in tragic love accident.
Oh God!
Oh god.
Why?
As you go to the next blacksmith and ask the same question. Strangely, they all died in a tragic love accident.
Yeah.
Something weird's going on here.
Yeah. You want to get real weird? It was a boating accident, Roach. They died in a tragic boating accident.
Someone is allergic to lizards.
Yeah, fire resistant doesn't really mean fireproof, you know? They melted. It's fine.
Apparently, it doesn't apply to the insides.
Yeah.
Terrible.
If you pour lava on your skin, you're fine. You drink lava, it incinerates everything. Who would have thought? It's like, really? I've never had that problem.
It's the same mentality of getting swallowed by the beast so you can attack it from the inside because you think the hide's less strong.
Yeah. It's fine. And you find out, oh no, their organs are stone too. Thank you.
It's just as tough on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine if 84% of the party gets swallowed and then they die because they also just can't breathe after a while, but 7 will tell your tales.
Thanks.
I'll
Seb.
stop you. Yeah.
Appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah. Look, man, they thought they could just breathe. Starvation takes a lot longer with me just blocking his throat than you would have thought.
We all died. 7 told our tales.
Yeah. We committed no war crimes. Most of us were upstanding citizens.
Of course.
Yeah.
we committed
Most-
almost no war crimes.
Most
Yeah.
is a strong word.
Yeah. Look, I don't have a
Inappropriate
backstory.
word.
Ravi has a loving family. Valir has a loving family.
Sure did.
Suji doesn't
Valir
have
has
one
a very
anymore.
dysfunctional family, but yes,
Listen,
they are loving.
I have multiple families now.
Yeah. His family history is a little
Aw, that's
weird. It's
sweet.
fine.
Oh, I meant Spider Mom.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Ah,
you
I
guys
thought
still
he meant us.
no. You
Who the
Hey,
fuck
Mom,
are we?
listen
too, I
too.
Who the
guess.
fuck are we? He's got a whole spider kingdom he's related to.
Not
I
direct.
mean,
Well, yeah.
He about to find himself a
yeah.
spider wife.
Step
Settle
spider.
down.
The Storax has got him. You know what his dad's weakness is?
The leg man.
Apparently.
Yeah. It's okay.
I declare that in Silicon Valley, ice cream will be for all beings, no matter how many legs.
Yeah. Vented barely killed any people outside of religious, for almost no religious reasons. They only die for those. In his quest to fill out his book. And one dwarf. It's fine. Yeah,
It's here
it's
for the
fine.
ride, bro.
Yeah, like doesn't get me the mother, huh? Yeah, fuck off. Why most of us have a good background. It's like, yeah, when I was a child, I had to kill people in the basement. It was fine. I wasn't the one getting touched in the basement.
You're not far off.
Yeah. See, everyone else like, oh yeah, I was in an orphanage. Oh, my parents are dead. My dad's a great guy. My dad has all this money. I don't know my father. And then I was just made by something. It's fine.
You are the enigma.
Yeah. Hey, you can't say that word.
Okay, bye, stream.